right, welcome back, everybody, to West Coast Geeks. I am OC Steve, and over there, my brother from another mother that hangs out in NorCal, known as DJ Ruben. How the hell are you, man?
I'm chilling, man. Yeah, nice day today.
And a very happy Royal Rumble Saturday as we record this to you, my co-host with the most.
Happy Royal Rumble Sunday. Can't wait.
I think there's a little foreshadowing. I think you're being a little favoritism.
There's me. The grandson of a plumber is my pick to win it.
I would not be in any denial. The one guy who was smart enough to leave AEW and go after collecting the bag and collecting a title, because Tony Khan was leaving him on the side to rot when he still had some of his best years in front of him, is Pharaoh's daddy, Cody Rhodes. So I'm sorry, kids. Here tonight, you heard it. Our pick for the men's Royal Rumble winner going to WrestleMania here in LA at SoFi Stadium will be the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, without a shadow of a doubt, without my mind. Sorry, kids, it's not going to be John Cena. His time with the jorts is gone. He's going to go be Peacekeeper indefinitely, maybe show up as a cameo in one of the Transformer movies. Who the hell cares? It's not going to happen with him. It's not going to happen with The Rock either, so burst that bubble, because he's still sitting at home, still licking his wounds from how bad Black Adam was and the fact that it went kaboom up in his face. He thought that was going to be his new major IP that was going to carry him for years to come, but it didn't show into fruition. And as much as I love Stone Cold Steve Austin, it's not going to happen with him either. So Royal Rumble is one of my favorite events out of the entire year because it is one of those ones that's allowed to be a little random. Obviously, They already have a card in mind for WrestleMania. They already know what's going to happen there. But the legends that show back up when 30 men enter that ring, the return pops of people that are now been on the indies that they decide to bring back just for a cup of coffee, that create waves to enough to the point where maybe they kick the tires on them and bring them onto a full-time contract to bring them back to the E again. We've seen crazy performances from people like Chris Jericho. We've seen the debut of AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble. A lot of people are thinking that Jay White's going to be there. I don't know. I don't care. I would love to see a crazy loud pop for Matt Cardona, a.k.a. Zack Ryder.
Oh, I would love that. I would love to see it.
So that's all the sweaty talk. Obviously, that's happening tonight. So we'll probably follow up on the next episode and let you know if we were right, wrong, who knows. It's going to be a long pay-per-view, kids. So if you're checking it out on Peacock, please know that it's going to be at least 3 to 4 hours because it's just not the men's Royal Rumble. There's a full card along with the women's Royal Rumble as well. So pack some snacks because it's going to be a long one.
Or wait till tomorrow morning and fast forward.
Either one. Dealer's choice. It's just going to be a long pay-per-view. Just don't go into it thinking, I'm going to be here for 2-3 hours. No. Make sure you pack your snacks, you hydrate, you take your potty breaks in between, and just have a good time. So
absolutely.
Speaking, we were talking throughout the course of the week, Ruben, you brought up a topic because you are on this show the go-to Disney guy. That is your niche, your thing. And you sent me this article, and it was just hard for me to believe it. Like I was sitting here going, for real? And it relates to Splash Mountain. So let me share my screen here. Why don't you fill in the people at home about some of the larger thing that's happening with Splash Mountain with the remodel right now?
So what many people do or do not know is that Splash Mountain at Magic Kingdom has Splash Mountain and Disneyland in LA will close down at I think within the next few weeks. And basically they're doing a complete rehaul. They're re-imaging it for Princess and the Frog. They decided to do away with their current characters because it's based off of a little movie that no one's seen in years, Songs of the South, which is it's very problematic. But if you take all the wokeness out of it, at the end of the day, no one relates to these characters on Zippity Doo Dah other than the song. So it's time, to make it more relevant and more up to times by picking another movie. And I think that's appropriate that they do Princess and the Frog. With Magic Kingdom's Splash Mountain shut down about 2 weeks ago, and now people are selling Splash Mountain water.
It's this weird niche, and we were going to talk about it, man. That there are certain Disney sweaties. I don't know what the Disney geek terminology, you may have to correct me, is season park hopper. I don't know. Maybe they got their own lingo. If you know it, put it in the chat below, but I'm just going to call them Disney sweaties for the sake of this argument and this conversation. This has been a long history where people have snatched things and resold it. And there's a whole market of it on eBay and aftermarket on the internet. Like when Galaxy's Edge opened, they had special design sporks for all the eateries that you would go to. And people nabbed those up and resold those for ridiculous prices on the internet to the point where we couldn't have good things. Disney went, nope, you know what? You can't have space sporks, so we're giving you the regular one. So in this case, obviously, they're refacing Splash Mountain right now. Iger talked about this when they had D23 in 2022, and obviously it got delayed because of the events of COVID. They had other pressing issues that they needed to attend to. So this is this time of year around, January, February, where they really begin the remodels and the rebuilds in preparation for the summer months. A lot of people know if you go to Disneyland, whether it's Disneyland or World during this time of year, you may not get on every ride you want to go on because this is when they do a lot of their, fixing, maintenance, retooling. So this is what's happening with Tiano's Bayou Adventure right now. So it's kind of ridiculous, man. I was going to share my screen that there are people out there on eBay somehow getting a jar and trying to sell this shit. And there's a market for it because I've seen some of them actually move and sell.
What you guys to know is this is Splash Mountain water.
Exactly. Like we were kicking it and debating it to the point where we're like, do we reach out to one of these sellers and ask, do I get a certificate of authenticity? More importantly, how stringent Disney security is just to get into the park. How in the hell in the wide world of sports did they get that tiny little mason jar inside to collect like a urine sample of chlorine water out of Splash Mountain?
No idea.
You know
what? We should contact one of them and ask, hey, what was your process? How did you get this into security?
Like, did you bait and switch somebody? Did you have an old grandma be a rodeo clown and somebody snuck in with like 80 mason jars to collect these allocated Disney chlorinated samples of Splash Mountain water?
If it's actual water, I think they just took a regular water bottle and dumped it in.
Yeah, and it's funny because it happened probably at Disney World because that seller is from Louisiana. So I really doubt they came here to Anaheim and then grabbed that and then found a way through TSA to get it back on a plane to get it back home.
That's the other thing. You can't get liquids through TSA. It's just under 3 ounces.
Yeah, so you can't even do that, man. So they drove there. If they really did it, Lord help them. That is a crazy, ridiculous effort if they genuinely went out of their way to get Splash Mountain water. But I hope that they just turned on Lay Tap on the side of their hose spigot and photoshopped a really redonkulous image.
I'm hoping that's the latter. I'm hoping that, they're like, what, fuck it. We're just going to put this Splash Mountain water and sell it.
Yeah. So you showed me that and I was like, you know what? This is something we need to bring up. I want to know in the comments below, would you buy Splash Mountain water? Would you even participate in this nonsense of aftermarket Disney sales? This seems like really like a niche, weird itch to scratch.
It's crazy, bro. Like even like merchandise they sell overpriced too.
Yeah, I get the flipping of that. I've never really understood the pin trading and all that bit. That's kind of special, but this takes it to the next level, at least in my mind.
Next level.
So moving subjects. Now we're going to talk more. It seems like we're always going back to DC in one way, shape, or form. Good old DC Comics and what's going on there. And I thought they had a formal announcement because we're kind of at the midpoint. If you watch Titans and Doom Patrol on HBO Max, a lot of people have been asking, when is it coming back? What's going on with it? Well, we kind of got some answers this week. And essentially, DC, HBO Max, Discovery, whatever you want to call them, the powers that be decided to say both shows are ending with this current season, which is season 4 for each one of them. That makes sense. I think they're trying to close the book on a lot of divisions. Obviously, there were a lot of geeks that were upset finding out that, they're not going to have Henry Cavill as Superman. They're not moving forward with the Snyderverse as their cinematic universe moving forward. They want to have a more cohesive universe. Everything from animated to TV to films can all be intermingled and carry one narrative all the way through. I think it's a very Herculean effort to do, but in order to do that, they have to also close a lot of these TV shows. Everything began with Arrow with Greg Berlanti, which led to Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, and all this other stuff, and additional opportunities for him to executive produce shows like Titans right here and Doom Patrol. They got to close the book on Greg Berlanti, get a new showrunner and new head of TV moving forward. Honestly, I enjoyed the first 2 seasons of Titans. We talked about this off the air. I figured the last season, 3 got a little wonky with Red Hood and the Scarecrow. Don't you think?
Yes, I agree.
And so
I thought on the surface it was a cool idea seeing the Titans on in live format, but after that, after Slade, it just went downhill from there.
But in all honesty, season 2 out of all the seasons of Titans was my favorite. I get that they didn't have Tara in it, that they kind of did the Judas contract, but that's the best version of Deathstroke that I have ever seen, and including the Manu Bennett version that was on Arrow is unique in its own way, but this was the guy who was Slade in my mind. Cool, calm, collective. The total polar opposite of Deadpool is what Deathstroke should be written like in my mind. He's a guy that you will never see him sweat ever in any of the most intense situation, and he finds a way to get under your skin to get you unraveled so he has the upper hand and advantage in combat. But season 4 just makes no sense, and there's a lot of hype about Brother Blood, but it's too much about Brother Blood and not about the Titans, and this show's called Titans for that reason. I never was a big fan of Doom Patrol, don't get me wrong. I love Brendan Fraser, so seeing him on screen in any way, shape, or form was cool for him to have that. I think that's what carried him through many a dark day, leading him to have an opportunity to go do The Whale, which is now Oscar nominated, and kind of rekindle his career and just make him feel better about himself. So I'm glad that they're at least letting them wrap up the storyline, that it's just not going to abruptly be ended when it comes with Titans. Sure. With that in mind, I don't know if they're going to really bring back a lot of that cast. We're still waiting for a lot of announcements with James Gunn coming out, and he did say in the next few weeks that we will probably get an inkling of some of the first initial slate, not the entire thing. It's not going to unroll the carpet and show us everything, but we might get a couple announcements because, in all fairness, they want to give enough breathing room for the films that are coming out, like Flashpoint, Blue Beetle, and Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods, to let them have their time in the sun before they just hit them like a steam truck and say, those shows don't matter. Here's our stuff coming out. You know,
here's Order 66.
Exactly. So they're giving them some breaths so they can make some money and then send them along their merry way. But going along with the Titans theme, I guess also this week we found out in the publishing side of DC Comics, the other side, the comic book side, where a lot of it comes to life, is that the Justice League is no more. So they had their big Dark Crisis event last year. I know I'll let you process this, where the Justice League magically they thought they were dead, and a lot of the younger generational heroes had to step up to protect the world. Well, now the Justice League's back. They saw that the kids did well, so they're like, we're going to leave this in your hands. We're going to go, I'm going to hit the golf course. I'm out. Bruce Wayne, deuces. And so now the Teen Titans are now just the Titans. So the new team will be consisting of Dick Grayson calling all the shots, a.k.a. Nightwing, Beast Boy, Starfire, Cyborg looking like some knockoff cosplay version of Tron. Insert the Flash here. More than likely, it's probably going to be the younger Flash, which we saw in Titans, which was Wally West. So who knows what's going to happen with Barry Allen. And Princess Diana's crazy, insane sister, Deanna Troi, who is using BetterHelp every day to get through just her nonsense. So I think my biggest problem with this is I'm cool with having a new team, shaking things up, moving the status quo. But the biggest quandary I have is the fact of the variance of age. So now you're allowing these sidekicks to age, but you're not allowing the original Justice League to age so they age out. So you're creating this narrative paradox that's a big problem that we see in comics. So how old is Dick Grayson compared to Bruce Wayne? We don't know. But there's two other Robins because there was Jason Todd and now there's Tim Drake, and both of them are filing taxes to the point that they're looking at cashing out their 401ks. And now we have Damian Wayne, his son, as Robin. So I just wish one of these comic book companies, whether it was Marvel or DC, would let characters age in real time. It would help with this problem that a lot of traditional comic book fans have with newer generational heroes showing up to take out the mantle of a hero's position. Your Spider-Man to your Miles Morales, your Robbie Reyes to your Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, just to name a few.
How old do you think Dick Grayson is? Like 38?
I don't know. Like
42?
it's nebulous. Like if he's now finally like, I'm going to be the head guy in charge. Well, okay. What is he, like 45?
Because I'm trying to figure out, because there has to be some age gaps between Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and then Damian Wayne. So obviously Damian Wayne has to be like between 12.
But these are the questions we're not supposed to ask. We're just supposed to buy and continue to buy it and never recognize that we have 3 Robins now, and Batman is not even near having any gray in his hair, let alone going to a retirement home. So, thank you, Tom Taylor, the guy that makes the most problematic shit in DC Comics to date right now, between trying to get rid of Superman, what he tried to do 2 years ago, along with getting rid of Truth, Justice, and the American Way, and trying to insert Jonathan Kent, Clark's son, with Truth, Justice, and a Better Tomorrow, has decided to make comic books even more challenging now, with the fact that people are aging, but we're not aging out characters. Like, I get Wonder Woman. She's a goddess. She'll never age. That's fine. You've created a narrative where that makes sense. You have Superman, red sun or yellow sun, whole bit, practically a god, if not God. So him aging will probably happen ridiculously at a much way slower rate, like ultra reverse dog years, right? The Flash, you can do whatever. He can slow his molecules down. So he doesn't age. I get that. Aquaman is Atlantean. He's practically like Poseidon. So you could do the whole god run with him too. But mortal characters, your Batman, your Green Arrow, your Black Canary, just, Zatanna. Those are characters that are mortal characters that would age in real time. You need to address that. And I think it would be in service to have them age.
Yes.
So
I agree.
That's all the Titan news for now. Now let's get to the main event. Ruben, you have my rant for this week. Now, I will reiterate the rules of the rant. I have not seen this article. Ruben has not talked to me before we've recorded this episode. So this is my own original take. It is unedited, unfiltered. Please keep in mind, this is a fun time to see your kids out the door. Like, share, subscribe, and thanks for watching, because this is probably going to be mature-filled and probably have some sentence enhancers if you watch SpongeBob SquarePants. So, Ruben, let's get it on.
So I saw this a few days ago because, Netflix, our favorite streaming company, loves to do stupid shit all the time. So here you go.
Let me.
Netflix claims it has never canceled a successful show.
What? So they don't even pay attention to. Okay. Give me some more bits here. Let's go through it. So that, or you just want me to go off that?
So, all right. You can go off that. But the CEO basically said, hey, we've never had canceled anything that was successful.
So anything like in the form of a recent show that I wanted to watch was like 1899 or something like that they put out. Or anytime they put out an anime show and it's a 1 season and they just magically decide to cancel it. Netflix, you got problems, man. You don't even pay attention to your own algorithms, let alone your own data, is my thing. And you try to double down. Everybody knows. For years, people have shared passwords to use their Netflix to go with that. And I have my own qualms with that. Like, we have a family exchange in my house where you get Paramount Plus, you get Disney, you get Hulu. Like, every family member connects it so you can all have the entire streaming package, so you're not paying essentially the full price of cable to get things. Now, so they get a good show, and then it just magically goes away. Netflix has the same track record as Fox back in the late 90s and the early aughts, where it's like, hey, you like this show? Is it on Fox? Well, it's probably going to get fucked. Do you like Firefly? Well, it went the way of the dinosaur. Did people like it and was an interesting sci-fi show? We're going to get rid of it. We're going to make another unique show where it's a mix of Cannonball Run mixed with Saw, and the show's called Drive, where everybody's trying to get to a destination. Yeah, go check it out. Drive was a rad show. It also had Nathan Fillion in it, who got canceled in Firefly. So I don't understand what they're doing, man. They get great, unique shows, and then they keep crap. Like, Stranger Things, in my mind, jumped the shark after the whole secret Russian base in season 3. Sorry, kids. Spoilers abound, but I don't give a shit, because that's when I stopped watching Stranger Things, because it turned into utter trash. Now, they get unique ideas, and then they just squander them They don't pay attention to analytics. They're not looking at social media buzz or hype that's trying to draw natural content to try to dissuade people from all the other bullshit that they're pulling off right now. So, yes, I do believe that is utter horse crap. The fact that he had to even come out and try to use a smoke screen statement like that shows that he's aware. He knows that the elephant's in the room and it's wearing polka dot pajamas. So, like, let's call a spade at the end of the day. You cancel shows. You don't give them enough breath. You don't let them build hype. The only time you did it right was with that goddamn Cowboy Bebop bullshit you tried to push on us. And thank you for canceling that. I'm sorry. I got to come full circle with it. Fair is fair. Because even the creator of Cowboy Bebop finally saw that this week and went, that doesn't even look like my show. It doesn't even sound like my show. It doesn't even walk like my show. That thing is a fake false, iteration of my show. So thank you for canceling that. So I'm worried about the future of Netflix in general. They're making wonky decisions and they keep going to the well with weird people. Resident Evil was a hot mess in itself, and now we're going to get a live action adaptation of One Piece, which should never be that word right there. That statement should never even come into existence. A live adaptation of One Piece. You can't do it. The animation's too weird, too wonky, too whatever. It's not going to work. The only thing I'm interested in that Netflix is going to do is correct a wrong, and it looks like the live action Avatar. I pray to the Nickelodeon gods of the late 90s and early aughts that the live action Avatar makes up for the bullshit that M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong tried to give us.
Great.
That's my 2 bits, kids.
Netflix, get your shit together, please.
Please, you're canceling the right shit, but with canceling it, just don't keep hitting the canceling button. Read the room, gauge it. Try to get people that are genuine fans of X source material, or just pay attention to internet buzz. See what's naturally people are watching and make a right decision versus just looking at analytics and weighing it on a cost analysis basis. If you want to be an entertainment platform and you want to have unique programming, you got to listen to the people. People vote with their dollars at the end of the day. So that's it, kids. That is the news for now. Like I said, we covered more Titans tirades for me, in my opinions. We talked about Splash Mountain water, which Ruben's drinking out of his bottle right now. Yes, you too can buy that $25,000 bottle. It is even a limited edition Splash Mountain water bottle because DJ Ruben is drinking out of it. So
message
think
me
about
on
that.
Instagram. I'll give you a deal.
Yeah, dude, $25,000. It's not too bad. I mean, it's barely a tuition here in Southern California. So that is the geek news for now. I'm OC Steve. This is DJ Ruben over there. And as always, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. This is a little labor of love that Ruben and I do once a week just to talk about geek shit in general and talk about the best coast here on the West Coast. So whatever you do, wherever you go, always let your geek flag fly. Always have fun and always keep it geeky, friends. We will see you on the next video.